So with a higher number of people being at home right now, between working from home and school being out, it's best to ensure that you're able to get the most out of your home Wi-Fi. I've done videos about setting up and troubleshooting your home networks, so you can check those out on my YouTube channel. But in the meantime, let's ensure that you can get the most out of your current setup. First off, at a preferred time for you, reboot your system. Power down your modem, your router, and if you have one, a switch. You want to power down your modem for 60 seconds, plug it back in, wait 30 seconds, plug in your router if there are two separate units, and then wait 30 seconds and then plug in your switch if you have one. Once everything is up and running, go ahead and check all your network speeds. If you know what network speed that you pay for, that actually helps. Wirelessly, you're probably going to get a roughly 90% of the speed that you pay for. Wired, you'll probably get around 98%. You may be lucky enough to get more than what you pay for, but that's really rare. Most instances, that's not the case. There are several reasons as to why you won't get 100% of what you pay for at all times, especially during peak hours. But we can cover that at another time. For now, you can measure your network speed by going to one of these two websites, speedtest.net or fast.com. Be sure to measure in different rooms and on wired and wireless devices to ensure that you are getting the network that you need in the areas that you need it. So if you have a computer that you can plug into the router or the modem or a switch, go ahead and test it there through a wired connection. Also take your phone or your laptop, whatever device that you will be using for working from home or streaming or whatever else, test it throughout in multiple rooms. Make sure that that you're getting the speed that you're supposed to, or it's not completely dropping off when you get to a specific room that you might be streaming versus a room that you might be working in, and so on. If you've been experiencing slowness on your internet when you have everyone home doing their own thing, you probably don't have enough bandwidth. If rebooting and checking your speeds hasn't fixed any of your slowness, you should call your ISP and get bumped up to the next level of speed. It also doesn't hurt to call your ISP and have them make sure that the software on your modem is up to date. If your network devices are more than 5 years old, I suggest upgrading to new hardware. Whether that's new modem, new router, new switch, just make sure that you are running up-to-date software because they have a lot more security patches, better security and overall, and they might offer different technologies that you don't currently have available to you on your other devices or older network devices. Ensure that your router is located as centrally as possible in your house. If you have a mesh network system, make sure that your mesh nodes slightly overlap a little bit so that way they can carry the correct traffic and SSID and passwords. And then when you have multiple devices, say you have two mesh nodes, so you'll divide your house basically in half and then center those, make sure that they're as center as possible in those two sections. If you don't have mesh routers and you need to extend your network, you can go ahead and get a Wi-Fi extender to expand your wireless network in the direction necessary. You've heard me talk about the 2.4 and 5.0 gigahertz bandwidths in other videos, so you may already know this. Switch devices that can use 5 gigahertz from the 2.4 to the 5.0 gigahertz bandwidth if possible. The less devices that are on your 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth, the better. Especially since the 5.0 gigahertz, it has more bandwidth, but it has less devices that use it. And so you're going to get a better connection and typically a faster, more stable connection that way than you would a 2.4 gigahertz network. Another trick is to change the channel that your router uses. Personally, I suggest just leaving it on auto and it'll pick the best channel for you at that time. But if you have a preference, you can go in there and start messing with it to get the best channel for your network. My final tip is to utilize wired networks when possible. They're typically faster, more secure, more reliable, and better when working from home and gaming. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. Be sure to like and subscribe.